Good evening. The opinions and statements voiced by our guests do not necessarily reflect the opinions of this network. Enjoy the shows.
You are listening to WBHM Digital Broadcasting, the best in paranormal talk only on Paranormal Experience Radio. Broadcasting live out of Birmingham, Alabama.
Welcome to the Paranormal Experience Radio Show with your host, Captain Hobson. We're here to learn all we can about every type of experience within the paranormal. There will be interviews with seasoned investigators of the spiritual realm, including ufologists, cryptozoologists, psychics, mediums, authors, and creators of technology, and others with credible knowledge to share. Together, we will find out what brought these investigators of the unknown into the field and learn what keeps them working so hard in it. I'm interested in learning how these individuals go about their work, and I believe you are too. This program is all about bringing those who are in the field together with our listeners who are interested in what they find. For us, the paranormal is all about working with and supporting each other. We're all here seeking answers to the questions that bother us so. Now, let's get those answers. And enjoy the show.
Good evening. Welcome to Paranormal Experience Radio here on WBHM Digital Broadcasting out of Birmingham, Alabama. If you have been listening for the last few shows, then you know we're here. 5 years, baby. I am so excited, and I'm really honored too because I appreciate all of y'all that have made this possible. Without listeners, I don't do a show, right? So thank you very much for your support over all this time, and you just don't even know how much I appreciate you. I appreciate you enough to bring you some rockin' shows, and tonight is absolutely no exception. We have got someone that I admire a lot, someone I think is loads of fun. He is actually one of my favorite people in the paranormal field or out. He's been on a couple of different shows. He is the Stew with his friends. He has been Paranormal Paparrazzi. And just for the record, yes, I do know I didn't spell that right. Italian is not my first language, and that's about all I can say about that. But also, he is who turned me on to how great of a person Zach Bagans is, and he was actually on Paranormal Challenge where he did outstandingly well. They're good friends. He's a good man. I trust his judgment impeccably, so I'm going to say that Zach must be too. And I am just thrilled to welcome Scott Gruenwald. Hey there, Scott. How you doing?
Well, hello to you,
Thank you.
young lady. I tried to use I've been hanging out with Joshua P. Warren, a couple of weeks ago, and that guy, when he talks, he talks like this, and he's a matter of fact, and he leans forward on one hand and the whole thing. So I'm trying to shake as when you like vacation in the South, or vacation in the South, but you vacation somewhere where they have a different accent. Yeah. Well, you might vacation there, but when I go to like Alabama or I go to Georgia or whatever, I come home. How's your mom? I mean, I'm just like I'm in it, and it's like
I do. And it's actually how's your mama and them.
Yeah. Oh, see.
Well,
that's Auburn, Alabama thing too. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So, right. A little crimson, a little orange. Close to your household.
Oh yes, we are. We are very flexible people when it comes to everything except football. So football, I bleed orange and blue. I knew War Eagle before I knew Jesus Loves Me. But man, you got to love that Crimson Tide too.
I know. They've won a couple games. So
every so often.
Every once in a while they might squeak one out.
Well, they're getting a lot of buys this year. I mean, really. I don't know what's up with that, but it doesn't do you any good in the ratings.
Hey, thanks for saying nice things about Zach. I mean, it's such a weird thing to when you see somebody on a television show, or you might hear a rumor or two or something like that. It's like you think that's how they are, and we've all fallen to that. Even yourself, people get jealous of stuff, and people don't know what they're doing sometimes. But yeah, he happens to be a really nice guy, and he's done a lot of amazing things for my family. I'm wearing a set of teeth, paid for by him. He helped my kid. He's just a good dude, And but some people in the paranormal may think differently, and that's fine. That's okay. So thank you for doing that.
Well, you know what? I have never personally met him, right?
Mm-hmm.
And but
Not
I
many
do.
people have.
No, they haven't. And I've met his lead security guy. I went out to the museum a while back. Yeah. And, just on a whim. And I actually wore 2 shirts because that place was cold. And so the security guy thinks I'm insane as I'm leaving, pulling off a shirt and having one under it. That was funny. His face was like, oh, my God, this is an Alabama woman.
He's like, wait. Oh, yeah. Shoot. Okay.
But people need to know, that...
Do you have 2 refrigerators at your house? Do you have one inside, one in the garage?
I do not. I had a deep freezer in the garage, but we watch our football upstairs, too.
Yeah. We have one in the... I don't know what we're paying for. Okay, hear me out. I got a full-size refrigerator out here with 2 things in it. I'm paying for that, right? To be powered up. I'm trying to be thrifty. Yeah. It's tough. I mean, it's tough. It's tough to be my age and be thrifty.
I can see that.
Because at my age, Amazon Prime, are you kidding me?
No doubt. That is the biggest bone of contention in our household.
I buy everything. I don't care what it is. People say, hey, there's a scarf that you can put on your dog or yourself. Okay. Then it comes, it's just a piece of fabric, and I take $40 for it. And I try to put it on my dog, and he's like, get away from me.
Right? I don't know. Right. Cooper just had that look, right? Like, no, you are so done. You are not doing that. Well, okay. Go ahead.
Yeah.
It was just a look.
Well, my cat, Sassy, she's 105. No, she's 17 now. She sleeps on minks. I won't have it any other way. I love my cat, and I love my dogs too. I like my cat more. But my mom got a mink stole for her 2nd anniversary, and there's been minks throughout the history of the family. And I made a bed for him, and she's like, yes, I will live another 50 years.
Just to sleep on those.
Human being. Just to sleep on minks, yeah. And the cat treats, you only give them 1 or 2. That's how I feed her. She gets whole bowls full of them. She's gigantic.
Well, no wonder she loves you and will never kill you in your sleep.
Oh, no. She's got on my chest before. It's like she could easily kill me. She's heavy. She's big. She's like the Adele of the cat world. And Adele's lost weight, so maybe not the Adele of the cat. Mama cats, maybe. I don't know. Big girl. Yeah.
If you could get her to sing like either one of them, man.
Doctor told me she needs to lose some weight. I took her and he goes, oh, well, yeah, she's got to lose a few pounds. I go, how many? He goes, I don't know, 30. No, she needs to trim down a little bit. And I go, wait, what Sassy and I did? We got another doctor. It doesn't say anything like that.
That's right. Yeah, you don't need that negativity in your life.
Well, when the doctor says you have cancer, just get another doctor.
Yes.
I would. Yeah. And then they say, their friend goes, and then if he says you have it too, then you probably should think about it. Or she. I'm a girl doctor. I do. I want a cute little girl doctor with big breasts. That's what I want. I'm 56. I can have that.
You can.
I wonder if you could just go through doctors' profiles and pick out the cutest ones. and that's how I vote too. That's how I vote for president, is if I would sleep with the person or not. So I'm very superficial that way. You can buy my vote just by how you look. So yeah, I voted for Obama because he's got Obama would be, yeah. And then, but I wouldn't sleep with Trump.
Would you have slept with Hillary?
Do that.
Would you have
done Hillary? I think.
I think that would be a hard pill to swallow too. As it were.
I have to do some sort of, maybe some medical marijuana. I don't know. I have to do something to prepare, I think, with her. Maybe like a darkness. I don't know. So, but you know what? I've always been attracted to her, though. I've always thought she was like cute as a button. Same with that one vice president, Al Gore. It was a Tippy. What was her name? It was his wife.
Oh,
and,
Tippy.
Yeah, that one too. It was
Tipper.
Tipper.
She was named Tipper.
Tipper. That's it.
As is my dog.
That really?
Mm-hmm. I have a Tipper. He's an Australian Shepherd who showed up when I didn't think that we needed a dog, and David felt that we did. So.
Well, there you go.
I know. Well, we had just lost Bernie, and I mean, you know how fabulous Bernie was, right?
Well, yeah, it was
just like, oh my gosh, this is not the time.
Did you do So growing up, we had to lay a dog down. Okay, we would take him out in the field, and the oldest boy would shoot him. But that's just how we did as a kid. It was like very important in our family that it was very honored, and it was like very age of ascension sort of thing, where
right.
you're at this point. It's very important for us, and it was very revered in the Gruenwald name and my mom's side as well. Mm-hmm. But now we save the ashes. We take them to a place. They're done. Not that it costs money or whatever, because money's no object really when you're going to that. But that is something that people look at as like odd. But when I was a kid, it was like, not that I couldn't wait, but I mean, it was just like, that's what I have to do when I'm 16, and I did. And,
well, but back then that was loving your animal enough to do it, right?
Right.
And now, I'm very tender. I don't hunt. I've never been able to. I hunt with my camera, right? That's the same reason that I'm not an artist with my hands, and that's another reason I use my camera. But my camera fills in for a lot of different things. So I absolutely have never been able to approach that. And I've always dreaded that I might hit a deer or a horse or something, and there would be no other option.
You do, it happens. When you do, it's very startling, hitting an animal.
Mm-hmm. I had a squirrel once, and I was devastated for weeks.
Yeah, they make the life you murder. No, I'm kidding. So, I'm sorry.
Well, we're done here.
No. For a friend. I know you've left the squirrel out there hanging.
Yeah.
She'll be back. I knew she will. She just went out for nuts. She'll come back. That's horrible. I say dumb things.
No, you don't.
So, well, thank you. So I'm thinking about hair extensions. I'm really thinking about some like long gray dreads.
I saw pictures of you with that. Were they built into that hat?
No, it was hair extensions. They tape them in and they heat them up, and that's the hair from a dead person, actually, a cadaver. That hair I was wearing. It's just kind of cool. I think it's cool.
Was it haunted?
That's the first question people ask me. I don't know, but I know taking them out without the proper way of doing it hurt. So. Ooh. Because the person that put them in just yanked them back out. I think there's like oil you're supposed to put on.
There has to be something else, yeah.
Right. So she just yanked them out and almost killed me. I said, a lot of, bad words to her and stuff. But whatever. We're still friends, I think. I don't know. Well. Oh, my goodness. So I'm over here, and I'm looking at Jeff Conkle's side of the lab. Jeff Conkle is the guy who builds a lot of equipment.
Yes, he does. He's coming on in 2 weeks, too.
Yes,
I'm
absolutely.
Excited.
Well, he's got new stuff over here, and I'm not allowed to talk about it. It's called the XLS camera. not the SLS camera, it's the XLS camera. It's the next level up. And I think he's letting these things go for like $200. I mean, it's like,
Get out.
it's time for people to be able, people have to be able to afford this kind of stuff. I mean, these were like SLSs were started out like $1,800, and then they were $1,400, and we've always sold them for $425 or whatever, right in that range. We made a special one for Keith Bailey. There was a lot more, but that was way advanced with a whole bunch of other stuff it added. But no, this XLS camera is going to be affordable, and the cool thing about it is you watch it on your smartphone. You watch the SLS on your phone, so that's the coolest thing about it. Yeah, now you just park it somewhere, and then you dial into your phone, and you can go anywhere in the world and be attached to it. He blows me away, but he's been busy lately, so I haven't seen him in a couple of days. Or maybe last night I saw him.
I was so fascinated, and I was actually going to talk to y'all about this, whichever one brought tech stuff up first, and there you are. But when I was at a UFO event in Phoenix recently, the International UFO Congress, there's a man who had a fantastic piece of equipment. It had temperature. It was a barometric. Well, it was just a weather thing with fantastic cameras. Yeah. And it was a sky scanning type of thing, an environmental recording device as well. And I thought that, and I talked to him about it, and I thought, you know what, that would be excellent for paranormal investigation.
Jeff has it. It's all done through your smartphone. It has everything you need on there. There's like 10 different things, and you can see them all at once, or you can pick one and widen it out. Jeff did start doing that because he thought that maybe temperature, atmosphere, because we talk about history when we do paranormal investigation. We talk about personal experiences. I mean, when we interview somebody about a location, we talk to, we look at the history, we look at all this stuff. A lot of them don't look at the weather, don't look at the environment. And the environment is crucial for an investigation. It really is.
Yes.
I mean, even as much as safety, in wet situations and different things. But so he does temperature, he does the barometer, it's EMF, it's like all this stuff. A compass is on there. I pretend I know. I have it on my phone. I don't use it. I only use it for EMF. But he's got this thing, and it's like, so when you look at Jeff's personal bag of equipment, when he brings his stuff out, and myself, we carry these old like Dracula killing kit looking things, or like old weathered leather pouches that hang over our shoulder with a big lock on the front of it. And we lay it and we flip it open, and in there is just 3 smartphones. It's really the coolest thing. Blows people away when we do events. And it's like, they'll go, oh man, here's the bag of cool stuff. And we open it up, and there's just 3 phones right there. All of them do different things, and then a bell and a candle, and that's it. And so we're showing the old way of investigating. We call it investigating the Old West style, where you use things that might be more familiar with them instead of stuff that's blinky lights, and they might scare ghosts. There's a thing about that.
I think they might scare ghosts.
I think sticking to a kind of a thing that maybe, like if you went out to the Old West, all right, and you went out to Virginia City, or I don't know, the Washoe Club or someplace like that, and you take a gun out of your pocket and you spin the chamber thing and you set it on the table. On the other side, they go, well, shoot, that's a gun. I know what that is, and it's not scary. So we take a bell out. They see a bell. Bell knows what it is. They're very familiar. I think it makes them more comfortable talking to us, So there's 2 sides to that coin, So it's very interesting to see how people react. I mean, I've seen people bake cookies. I think that's brilliant. They say, well, there's children here. Well, bake cookies. Well, I don't know if ghosts can smell. They probably can, but I don't know. But she doesn't know either. But for some reason, when she bakes cookies, the energy in Preston Castle or one of these children's reform schools just goes crazy. So bringing a naked woman into a place, an old prison, or a naked man for that fact, there are triggers. And if you think about it, and you kind of put your head, you're like, oh, I think what would make it easier? There's a gentleman named Steve Huff, and he got a lot of, I don't know the man, but he got a lot of guff, which
he does have a lot of guts.
I think there's a song in that, but he wanted to investigate, or he did investigate Lorraine Warren, after she passed.
Yes.
Everybody jumped on his case. Now, I'm looking back thinking, who else would I want to talk? Are you kidding me? Of course. She would be honored. And then, you know what? My kids and my friends, when I go, they better the day of. And post that stuff all over Facebook. I don't care. Because she did it for years, and now she's in her right mind-ish. You know what I mean? She had a hard time at the end there. Now she knows. And then now, they say when you pass, you're like at the prime of your life. That's when you not strike. That's when you go out and you investigate. Now, maybe Sandy Hook and all the things where kids died and stuff. Maybe not do that.
Yeah, be leaving that alone.
But a famous paranormal investigator, that's a pretty. I think that knocks out a lot of stuff in between us and the other side of that veil. You know, because
I do, but I got to stop
really
you.
Into it.
I got to stop you because we have to go to break, and we will be right back. And thank y'all, everyone, for being here with us, and we will be back on the.
You are listening to WBHM Digital Broadcasting, the best in paranormal talk only on Paranormal Experience Radio. Broadcasting live out of Birmingham, Alabama.
Oh, come on. I'm Southern, but... Nope. That'll do. Hello. I am Kat Hobson, host of Paranormal Experience here on WBHM Digital Broadcasting out of Birmingham, Alabama. I enjoy having guests from all areas of the paranormal, from ghosts to ufology to cryptids and beyond. You'll find some of the best researchers in their fields bringing you some great information. Join me on Wednesday nights from 8 to 10 p. Eastern here on WBHM Digital Broadcasting.
To the believer, the evidence is overwhelming. To the skeptic, there will never be enough. Hello everyone. Join Kevin and Jennifer Malik, the host of Paraversal Universe, every Friday here on WBHM Digital Broadcasting. Also heard on WCET FM and The Rift. Log on or tune in as they check out the mysteries found within the 8 categories of the unknown and unexplained, including ghosts and haunted places, aliens and UFOs, theology and mythology, cryptids and monsters, urban legends and folklore, conspiracies, metaphysics, and forbidden archaeology. Listen as Kevin and Jennifer interview the top minds in their respective fields as they share theories and information regarding these unsolved mysteries. For future show and archive information, one can find Paraversal Universe on Facebook, Twitter, and MeWe under various Paraversal Universe headings. So, for excellent talk radio about the unknown and unexplained, check out Paraversal Universe, where all paranormal perspectives apply. Brought to you by the Northern Wisconsin Paranormal Society, Ltd., and produced by WBHM-DB.com.
Thank you for listening to WBHM Digital Broadcasting out of Birmingham, Alabama. The time is 23 minutes after the hour. Welcome back to Paranormal Experience Radio. I am Kat Hobson, your host, with my guest. I just don't even know enough words to describe him. He's so wonderful. But Scott Gruenwald. And Scott, thank you for being here tonight. I am so enjoying you.
I'm honored. You've been doing this 5 years. 5
years.
Right?
Can you believe it?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people get into the radio. Oh, by the way, before we went to the commercial, we were talking about having babies. So that's how babies are born. No, it's like 5 years.
Yes.
I mean, that beat the stew out for a year. Darkness Radio Day might have a little lead on you, but there's maybe Art Bell. I mean, a couple people, George Norrie is coast to coast, but under those 3, it's you only. I mean, everybody gets into it. Then they get low numbers, or something happens, or they got a recital to go to, or they got this. I mean, and they stop. And it's like, where was your passion,
I know, right? Jim Mallard, who is one of my favorite hosts, he is the host of the Mallard
God,
Report
yes.
on Tuesdays. He's done
Love
it for
it.
7 years. He's awesome.
I know. I've been on the Mallard Report. I mean, he's like he's a staple.
He is, and he's
and
very
really
good at what he does, too.
He is, and consistent.
Yes.
Yeah.
And a variety. I mean, his guests are varied, too. He's a good show.
Yep.
But we are, too.
My dog's howling.
That's okay. Mine haven't started yet. We'll probably hear Heidi's collar shake at some point. But
my dogs are like, you left for 15 minutes. You've been gone. I thought you were never coming back.
Right. You left me. I'm starving to death. I need food.
I'm starving. You tried to kill me.
Yes.
But I'll love you unconditionally because I'm your dog. Yeah.
Pretty much.
I don't know. It's weird. Yeah. So we were talking about that kind of stuff and how people are perceived in the paranormal because of how they look or how they act. I've got a lot of guff myself, which rhymes with huff. I got a lot of guff myself over the years for different things, from naked investigating to whatever. We created the first web show. I mean, there was none of these shows. There was no talk radios. There was nobody was talking about the paranormal on live streams. Nothing else. It was called the Haunted Wolf Manor Live, and it took 12 hours to set up for a 45-minute show. It was different. You just didn't grab your phone and do a Facebook Live or something,
Right.
It was hard to do, and there's no electricity in this house, and there's no internet in this house. We had to do all that and prep everything and get it all ready, bring guests and feed them, get the ring the bell. Okay, we're going live, 3, 2, 1, boom. It goes live. We go across the internet. We found out later that we were getting tens of thousands of views that we didn't know. We were having
How cool
fun,
is
right?
that? Yeah.
It was cool, and then so we started getting attention. That's when Zach and Jason Hawes and all these different people start hanging out and start coming over and doing a show there and stuff. It made a difference. And unfortunately, we've lost 2 of the cast members in the last year have passed away at 36 and 37 or something. They're very young.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, it was really rough. But, we still we all know each other. We all have different lives now. Todd's he's doing his thing and raising his wonderful kid.
Mm-hmm.
Terry's doing his thing, married and got a great house. And everybody kind of just, but we're friendly. I mean, we see each other, but that was really cool back then. And then the Paranormal Stew after that. And then I started being on the other stuff, like whatever it was, Paranormal Challenge. And, but it was the one you can't stop, Paparazzi, Paranormal Paparazzi.
Now, what's funny is I did spell it right in the event, but when I was sharing stuff today, it was 2 P's. Well, actually 3 P's, and everything else was right. So, yeah, it should have been 2 P's. But that's okay.
Yeah, it's we do.
That's just a spare.
We did pretty good on that. That was fun. We got to stay at the Bunny Ranch for a couple of days. We got to do lots of things, and I was it was exciting. I was like, hey, you're a reporter now. And I'm like, I've always wanted to do this, something like this. And you're a reporter now, and you're going to cover all the West Coast. All these stories are coming out of people who heal diabetes with the moon, and a woman who reads vaginas. I mean, there was a lot of stories. I mean, a lot of stories. And I covered all of them, and uncovered some. And it was like, it was fun. It was really fun. And when I came home, I said, I'll never do television again, ever. I will never. No, it was too hard on me, and I was young,
Yes, you were a mere babe.
I would like to do another show maybe someday. Someday I would like to do a show that maybe, maybe more where I could be like the main guy or something, and not have to work hard as everybody else. Not that Aaron Sagers didn't work hard. He did, but he really didn't. There was more. No, he did.
Well, just put it right out there. It's all good.
Yeah, let's put it out there. Yeah, Aaron Sagers doesn't do anything. He was a great mentor for this because he'd been in the industry for so long, and I got teamed up with Rachel Fine from Howard Stern, and of course Brandon Wellington, who's on Orange Is the New Black now. And I mean, it was a good cast. Joshua P. Warren, everybody. So. Yeah, I mean, it was fun. I had a really good time running around. But again, I remember I packed the first night. I put all my stuff in the drawers in the hotel. I was excited. I'd been talking to everybody about TSA agents. Didn't matter. I was so excited about this show. being a reporter and doing all that, I unpacked everything. In about 2 hours, I get this phone call. It's hard out, they call it. And I what does that mean? I mean, you need to get to Phoenix by morning, so go to the airport now. I never unpacked again.
I understand.
I'm just shoving stuff in a bag. Oh, it was tough. It's the real deal. And go here and go there and that Teen Exorcism Squad and all this stuff. And it wasn't overwhelming, but when I got done, I was like, yep, I'm going to take a little break here and just kind of be a dad or something, you know. But I think maybe one day if they offered me a show, I would take it.
Well, how did you get the information on the places that you were covering?
A lot of times, I had a couple in the chamber. You know, I went into this with a little bit of preparation, hoping that I would get the West Coast slot because we branched out all over the nation and kind of quartered it up, you know, Northeast and such. And the South was Joshua, and I was the West Coast. I kind of had a few, you know. I had the guy who sleeps with ghosts, then the naked investigators. I had a few of them. Other ones, they'd call and they would say, hey, you need to go talk to this gentleman, Mr. Waite, God rest his soul. He will take you up to this mountain, and they will introduce you to a family of Bigfoot called the Mogollon Monsters, and you need to get there now. Okay, so then that would come from Jesse Brooks, our field producer. And then he said, and when you're done with that, however long that takes to get back down that mountain, you need to go meet with Bob Larson and his daughters that are Teenage and Exorcism Squad and interview them. And then when you're done with that, and you get back to L.A., there's a hostel to stay in on Hollywood Boulevard, and then get over and do this. I mean, they were just constantly every minute, and I liked it. And then sometimes I stumbled on the stuff, and I was like, the lady who speaks to animals and proves it to me. And so it was like, okay, I mean, she was just some lady and that I met. And a lot of these things they didn't air. I think he came home with 32 stories, and I only needed like maybe 14 or something like that. So I gave him enough I kept calling him and saying, hey, I need more cards to send, you know, footage back on. I'm just doing all this stuff. I'm flying in helicopters. I'm doing crazy stuff. But yeah, what a fun deal. And got paid like you would not believe. Honey, I tell you what, I was very taken care of by Zach and Aaron Sagers and them. They're like, we're going to give you this much money, and I'm like, I'm there. You know?
No doubt. So far, I haven't had anybody offer me loads of money to go and do anything exciting like that, but that's okay. Things come.
I think it's hit and miss. Sometimes it happens to people. Sometimes it don't. It's definitely who you know, and it's like somebody. How it happens? I was delivering food. I did Falcon Crest back years ago, and they did like 16 episodes of Falcon Crest, and that was the only thing I ever really did. That and the Days of Our Lives and a couple other things. And it really, that was just to get it out of my system. I was dancing back then in clubs, and I was like, I was all about Hollywood. Everything, the parties, the lifestyle, it was amazing.
Right.
And so after doing all that, I just years gone by, and I said, I get a little job as maybe a production assistant, a PA, and that's where you do it. That's where people go, wait a minute. Can you read this for us? And that's what happened to me. I had this really unusual beard, and it was a Save the Tortoise thing for the Animal Planet. And I was delivering at 9:30 or something for them, the cast, and they said, hey, man, can you read this? Because I had this kind of funky-looking beard. And I read it, and they still air it. And then somebody else saw that, and somebody else saw that. And so, people are going, did you sell out to the paranormal? Did you you're doing comedy with it. You're doing TV shows and stuff. Are you investigating anymore? Absolutely. Jeff just showed up. We investigate a lot, and
well, sure.
And it's got. You get to a point. You've been there. I know you have. Where you're like, okay, all right, I need to talk to a ghost. I really want to talk to a ghost.
I do understand that. Yes.
It's like you get frustrated in it, but you can't quit the paranormal. I don't care how many people I'll say, I retire from the paranormal. It has to quit you. And so no matter if you don't investigate, they'll come find you. They know you can see them, or they know you have the equipment, or they know,
They know you can hear
them.
They have an
know
outlet.
that you can hear them. Right. And so they're like, okay, so if you try to leave that after you've been involved with it, at least even minimal amount of time, they're going to come to you. And they may not come to your house or whatever, your work, but you never know. They're waiting for you to take that thing out of your pocket that lets them hear them. Mm-hmm. And so, I mean, for them, you can stop posting stuff on Facebook. You can stop trying to get on TV. But for them, just put a digital recorder in your car. Just every once in a while, you never know. You never know.
I have one in every bag I am.
I have one in my purse. I carry a purse.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I've got... I mean, some of them are really good, and some of them are just the, little Best Buy Sonys, which are really good. If anybody's
those are my favorite.
It's fantastic, and it has a little download slide, so you don't have to worry about getting it back off. But guys,
that's the old ones too, and reel-to-reels. It doesn't matter what you have. Reel-to-reel's kind of bulky for your purse. Reel-to-reel.
I would love to have a reel-to-reel player still. Oh my God!
Oh, we have one right here.
The best music. Did you actually use the Children of the Sun for your stereophonic test?
I did actually. From you mean the Billy?
The Billy Thorpe song that I told you that you should play when you were testing your speaker system.
Yeah, I do. I think it's a good song.
It's a great song.
I remember it. When I first heard it, I'm like, okay, fade in, right? Down, down, down. It's good breath. And then he just explodes. Can you hear me? And then it's like, wow. It had everything. It's like that song.
It's my favorite song of all time.
It's a great song. There's another one. Faith No More did that. What was that song? You want it all, but you can't have it. What is it? Dun, dun, dun. What is it? It was the first kind of a rappy sort of metal thing that I heard. I was like, that'll be enough, Jeff. He's my Tim Dennis.
He's awesome. But
so that was.
I distracted you. I didn't mean to, but when you were talking about sound and everything, it made me think about when you had posted asking about that.
Yeah, so. It is definitely the first question I ever ask when I do an EVP session is, do you believe in God? It has always been my first question. It's been my first question since I was 15 years old. I always say, do you believe in God? That's my first question. I've never, ever gotten an answer from it, but it's always my first question. I believe when you do something, you set an energy,
yes.
No matter what it is. You set a precedent. You take command. This is your plane. You're inviting something in, whether it be alien or paranormal or whatever it is. You're inviting in this. So it's really up to you. It's like running a radio show. You have to get everything. All the caller has to do is call in, right? But you got to do all the other stuff. Same thing when you're investigating. You have to take. Now you don't have to be a jerk or not or yell or anything, but you have to give them a path to walk. They don't know what you're wanting. You have to say, I need you here. I need you to bring you here. And so that's a certain type of, it's not like an authoritarian, but it's a welcome. Let's just call it that, It's a nice enticement to bring them in. And what we have found is using comedy as well, and a lot of it. And not necessarily funny, because we're not that funny. But yeah. When people laugh, and when people are having a good time, let's say ghosts are like, as in life, so in death, 80% of the people that walk around me are shy. Mm-hmm. They don't just jump into groups and start talking. Probably a low number on that. I bet a lot of people, they're jerks, or they're nice, or whatever. And in death, they're pretty much going to be the same.
I think so, too.
That's why I think at the end of an investigation, when you're putting everything away and nobody's got anything recording, something happens. Because you're having fun, you're kind of punch drunk tired, you're joking around, somebody farts. I mean, it's like you're just kind of chilling. That's when they go, okay, it's my time to step in. Because I kind of like how they're acting now. I didn't like it when they were. Now, I'm not saying anything bad against structured EVP sessions and people that sit in the dark in circles and do that. That's fine. But it's not as welcoming, I don't think, as it is when you say, "Oh yeah, come on in." Maybe you can take a plate out of food for that person. I mean, whatever, right? And so that's kind of the way we do our investigating. So we have a really good time doing it, and we get very, very tired. But it's always an open door, whether it's from heaven or from wherever. We got to let them in, you know.
Do you really find that they are in designated spaces, or are they not just where they choose to be, where they want to be?
Yeah. Okay. So there's a couple of different ways of looking at that. Some people say there's a difference between ghosts and spirits. Ghosts are been in a traumatic accident, died suddenly, something's happened, they're stuck somewhere, they fall downstairs, break their neck. It's just like an instant death. Or spirits die of maybe disease, and they're just kind of ready to go, or their age is older, and they're just set and okay with God or whatever their creator is, and they become spirits, which lets them move freely throughout the world. I don't really subscribe to that, but that's a theory. Okay, some people can't. I think it's just energy, and it's been doing the same thing. They see, I have to watch my mouth. Even they have been doing the same thing for so many years that when they pass, there's a good chance that energy might be implanted right where they did their life, not necessarily where they died.
So, like stone tape theory, or like real interaction.
It seems to be that when you get, and when someone can claim or say that they got real interaction, where they've got a dialogue maybe with the other side, or they've got something up like that. To me, that's amazing, for one, because it's very rare for myself to have that. Where you get a bell to ring, you get there's some sort of intelligent, there's some sort of thing, and if you get a bell to ring in a place with no wind and no open doors and no noise and no nothing and no one touching it, not on a table on the floor, and that thing rings when you ask it to. That's a dialogue, and it's already the beginning and the end and the whole thing, because I don't know what else I can get through my EVPs, what could possibly be a dog barking outside. So that's a conversation for me, that whole one bell ring, it shows something out there. When we get those intelligent kind of things, and that is purely intelligent to me, that's the kind of stuff that's like Holy Grail, right? Throw your arms up in the air. It's very exciting, because I remember when my parents did this, and a little piece of paper would roll across the floor. They would have 5 cameras on it. The reel would come out. They would be there staring at it for 14 hours, because that was huge. Well, nowadays we're like, every place is haunted, man. Check out these EVPs from the jailhouse. Check out these EVPs from the lighthouse. Check out the thing. It's just really, because I remember when I was 8 or 9 years old, watching that other wave going down, it'd be totally excited about that.
Absolutely.
Or nowadays, I'm like, oh yeah, that's cool. I'm not going to be the jerk to say, "Oh, that's the dog barking, guys." It's different. It's a different kind of thing. So that's why I think that if you can move around, if I can move around when I go, if I can go and I can go to different places, I would probably go to places that I've been, that where my kids are, where I sat with Jeff,
Absolutely.
Those are the happy times, except for Jeff wasn't here yet. That was when I was happier.
That's funny. But we have to take a break on that note. We'll be right back. Everybody, thanks for being here, and we will return.
You are listening to WBHM Digital Broadcasting, Birmingham, Alabama.
You are listening to WBHM Digital Broadcasting, the best in paranormal talk only on Paranormal Experience Radio. Broadcasting live out of Birmingham, Alabama.
Welcome back to Paranormal Experience Radio. I am Kat Hobson, your host, and I am joined tonight by Scott Gruenwald, who just told me a funny. It was awesome, but hate to talk my Aunt Fanny. So, we were talking about things that get spirits or ghosts or whatever reference interested in communicating with you.
Let's just call them transparent Americans.
Let's do that. Well, they're not all American, though. So, native shadow people.
Oh, shadow. Is that with an E? Shadow?
Well, do you know?
Because everybody has one. When I look at a picture of a shadow person, I wish I was there when they took it.
Yes.
That's all I can really say about shadow people. And I've seen them. The fake ones are actually the best ones. But you know what I mean?
They'll have a better
it's
profile.
Really that good, it's fake. It's like that's somebody's shadow. But it's when people get it, because there's a whole community, and that's all they do. Care fake, they're shadow people. Like the black-eyed children, there's certain communities that just that's all they do, and that's kind of horrible if you think they're putting all their stuff into that. I've seen shadows before, but I got to remember. I have to think, what was the situation? We have a weird thing when we leave our garage, and because we had also had a hanging in my garage, a young man. A lot of people passed away in our house, and they're all related to me. But when we leave, when sensitives come over, they stop in this one place in the garage, and they go, "Oh my God!" They almost don't want to come because we come through the garage to come into the house. They almost don't want to come in the house, but the house is loving and caring and fun. But they stop, and I watch them, and none of them really know each other, but they all say the same thing. Something happened right here, I mean, you don't even have to be as sensitive to come over here and feel it. And so it is when you walk in, when you leave here and you go and you make a left. Your shadow is cast on a fence because we go from the house to the garage, out of garage to the house. There's a space, and it scares me every night, even though I know it's going to happen. One night, no light in the garage because the power's out, and I walk out there and I see a dark shadow, and I'm like, okay, so what is that?
Right.
Yeah, of course, I don't have my phone on me, which I probably have in my back pocket, but there's no way I'm going to pull it out and catch a picture of this. But so it is startling. It's startling to see anything like that, I mean, because
the
you're
first
like,
thing I saw was just like a shadow that morphed. I didn't see like a shadow of a person, and I actually had it on video because I was investigating a closed hospital. It was actually the hospital where I was born, believe it or not. And so we tried to replicate the experience after. It was really weird because I saw it as we went by. My partner was in front of me with a flashlight, and I had the camcorder, and I said, "Could you shine your light down here?" And when she did, it was just like frozen against the door, and then it just kind of looked like an oil spill that just went down in total and then went under the door next to it. And I was like, "Do that again, please." And nothing. And I was just like, "Shut the front door." This is amazing. I can't believe I got that, right? I've never seen anything like that.
That's where they went under it. The front door was shut. They went out the door.
There you go.
I think it's, when we see things, of course, when we're born, I don't have to tell you, but I can maybe tell a listener, the first thing we see is a face of a doctor. So the face is the most recognizable object we'll ever see. That's the first picture taken in our brain. And maybe a couple on the inside, but that's the first one with a really good light. So you have and then a ball is round and it's spherical, and you see that's another one. And you learn maybe baby stuff, that you see, and your parents' faces, and you're constantly taking pictures. And you get about 7 or 8 years old, you're taking hundreds of thousands of pictures of things, and
but you haven't taken millions and billions of things. So that's why I think children are more successful to the other side, because they can honestly see things. They're taking pictures. There's stories, endless stories about this, of children seeing spirits.
Yes.
But when you see billions and billions, our minds try to thumb through that filing cabinet of all these pictures, of these billions of pictures we've taken, and try to come up with something that looks like something, but it can't. Let me explain a little deeper. There was a West Indies, there was a tribe on an island, and the Spaniards of Spain attacked these natives. I mean natives because they're native of that area. They never saw them coming because they'd never seen a ship before. They had never taken that picture, so they were able to walk right up and kill them. They came. I mean, the ocean was their god. They never saw these ships. So until we see something, so we may not even been introduced to what a ghost or spirit or whatever looks actually like until we see one. And they say, like the Puckwudgie theory and these different theories, once you see one, you can see them all the time. And what I mean is see them. But when we see something out of the corner of our eye, that's our brain going through that filing cabinet of all those billions of pictures, trying to figure out what the hell you're seeing, because it wants to see it. It's in your peripheral vision. Well, sometimes it makes mistakes, and it says, okay, it's like a person, because first thing these goes, baseball person, main shapes, car, things that might injure you, dog. Those are the first things that we see, because those are the most important pictures that we see. Because we communicate, unless we stay in our house all the time and we don't have dogs. But when we see people, we interact with people. People watch us. So that's a shape that we know. So when we see things, unless we're looking really at it and seeing stuff, when people take pictures, it's amazing, because now we've got something that's more just instead of out of the corner of the eye. It's something they've caught on. That's why I love video. Video evidence is best, because not only can you rip it apart, because that's what we should do. That's when you capture stuff, and you can do multi-framing, and look at things.
And it's just so shocking sometimes.
It's startling.
It was startling, because I'm a voracious reader. I love Stephen King. Well, I loved Stephen King when I was young, and he wrote a short story that had something not dissimilar from what I saw happen, right? But it was on water, not on a door. But it was just like, okay, this is so weird. I don't even know why that wouldn't have like a shape, a definitive shape. I was expecting, when I saw something like that it would be a shadow person, right? So
I think, and I don't know if people is even, we could just say, shadow things.
It was a shadow thing. It looked like an oil spill or something. It was just...
That's crazy. Yeah.
It was unusual. I've never seen another video of... And I've looked to see if someone else had video on something like that. And I've not found it yet. And that's been probably four years that I've been looking.
So we chase that hit. That's a crack reference. You know what I mean? We chase that. That's the real. People jump out of airplanes thousands of times, but it's that first one that just was like so amazing. Mm-hmm. And then we see an oil spill. We see something. It's like that's what gets us. Go. That's why a lot of people go in these events that I call them hostages. Their husband or wives with an actual investigator, and they just go because it's a convention, and they're hating it the whole time. They're complaining and everything. Those are the people that see stuff. They're our new investigators. You know what I mean? It always happens to them.
Yeah.
Because I'm just thinking, I'm on the other side. I'm like, hey, I'm chilling out. I think, oh man, that girl is so annoying. But her husband seems pretty cool. I think I'm gonna poke him in the eye. So whatever. Right? And then they get that fever, and now they're into it. And like, oh my God, now they're spending money now. And the wife's like, hey, can I go with you guys? No, it's just boys' night out. Kidding, my life story.
Not at all.
Boys only. Well, it's only boys only in our team.
Yeah.
Yeah, because our boys are. If you put a girl in the mix, we're done. I swear. I don't care what girl it is. You put a girl on our team, the guys are just, they dumb. They just do. We all do dumb things because we're showing off. So we had to, about 4 years ago, Jeff said, you know what, why don't we just do no girls? I'm like, are you kidding? He's like, that's why, exactly. What you just said to me is why we're not doing girls on the team anymore. I'm like, okay, let's not do it. Yeah, so we haven't yet. But if there's any girls out there, no, I'm kidding. My phone number is 559-389-135. So, yeah, so 4. Yeah, 4, yeah. So I encourage anybody to learn the safety and learn some techniques and make your own, you know. I mean, there's plenty of books written on it, but there's no real, I mean, unless that book ends with a picture of you talking to a ghost, it's like, come on, man, you know, do your own thing. Use your 40-hour week. You're a social worker, be a social worker. You're an electrician, go find that EMS. You're a whatever. That's what you do all week long. You're like, I don't want to do it. Yeah, you're a plumber, go get on TV. I mean, it's like anything you want to do, you can do it. But do the stuff that you're knowledgeable about and then learn as well. So, you know, talk to Rob Demarest. The guy's read every book in the world.
He has read every book in the world.
Yeah.
And, you know, I had met him a couple of times, but when I stopped in at the Mid-South that you were at, was the first time I'd actually really sat down and spoken with him. And he's pretty fascinating.
He is. He's like, him and Scotty Roberts, both of them, they're just these rolling encyclopedias. And not just of the paranormal, they read a lot of books. Yeah. And I read an occasional book. I just read Cheryl Carter's new book, which is really, really good. A lot of layers. And, of course, Jesus Martinez's book. I read those two recently. And I'm like, you know, I need to read more. I used to do a couple a week. And then the world got in the way, you know. And I started playing ukulele a lot. And so, But maybe one every couple of weeks, maybe. I'm lying. It's one a month. And I really like to read again. Maybe I'll write a book. Another one.
You ought to write another one.
I should. First one was amazing. Bestseller. Mm.
I would read it. And it wouldn't really matter the subject matter. So
it's weird. It's like when I was homeless for a while. It's how I survived on the street without asking for money. And I had a hustle. And I had a dog. And I was very smelly. And I had long hair and a long beard. And I lived on the street. You know, I went through some times in my life. You know, prison, drug addiction, all these things who make me who I am today. And I love every moment. I mean, everything I've done, I would never don't regret. And but it's just every page has a different little story on every page. You know, every page is a different story about what it was like out there, almost like a diary, but not dated.
Right.
But that would be interesting to do a diary of a homeless man. That would actually be a good book. People would read it. My book would be like a book you put next to the toilet. You know, like counsel inspirational book or something. You read a page or two, and you're done.
Until the next time.
Next one.
So
I could be the next J.K. Rowling.
That's true. But man, her stuff was downloaded. That was amazing. She had all 7 books before she ever started writing the first one.
Isn't that a trip?
That is such a trip. And
she just got dropped from the billionaires list. So because she was giving away so much money to their charities, and they said, "Why are you dropped out of the billionaires? You're not a billionaire anymore." And she goes, "What am I going to do with $1 billion? I'm going to die soon." So she just like gives out millions of dollars to places and stuff, and she don't care. Right over seat, I don't care. I mean, it's like talk about a nice lady, and she wrote all those books like riding on her train to and from work and stuff.
Yeah, just single mom.
You know, yeah.
Single mom struggling, and there you go. But she did. She had the outlines of all of the books before she ever started writing one. Yeah. She's an inspiration.
Yeah. I know. I'm going to see if I can borrow $20 from her. What?
It's the top of the hour. We've got to go. We got a break.
Oh, but okay.
When I'm having fun, that happens sometimes. So, so we are going to take a break. This is a fine time to fill your beer stein, wine glass, tea jug, whatever you've got, water bottle. But come back because we're going to. We'll catch you on the flip side of this news break. Thanks for being here.
It's the Republic's turn. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News.
We will begin our open hearings in the impeachment inquiry next week.
House Intelligence Committee Chairman Adam Schiff says people can judge for themselves the credibility of the witnesses, including the acting ambassador to Ukraine, Bill Taylor. A transcript of his testimony was released today. Fox's Jared Halpern is live on Capitol Hill.
The top U.S. diplomat in Ukraine told lawmakers in a closed-door deposition it was his clear understanding security assistance was contingent on Ukraine's president publicly committing the investigations in the former Vice President Joe Biden in the 2016 election. Bill Taylor was asked if he was aware he was describing quid pro quo. He answered, "I am." Republicans note Taylor's answers were often not firsthand, but relayed by other officials who had spoken with him about their conversations. Taylor is scheduled to testify in an open impeachment inquiry hearing next week. Lisa.
Meantime, Jared, the White House continues to argue that the process is unfair and that the probe is a sham.
It's not easy, fellas, is it, huh? It's nasty. Nobody told me it was going to be this nasty.
President Trump warming up for a rally tonight in Louisiana, holding a White House event before he left on the dozens of judges confirmed under his administration. Democrats are hoping some of yesterday's election results are bellwethers for 2020.
It's about patriotism and a value check on this president.
Senator and presidential hopeful Amy Klobuchar filing her paperwork for New Hampshire's first in the nation primary today. One county council outside Philadelphia in Republican control since the Civil War flipped to blue. Meantime, Kentucky's Republican governor, backed by the president, is asking for a recanvassing of votes. Democratic challenger Andy Beshear is claiming victory over Governor Matt Bevin by less than half of 1%. America is listening to Fox News.
If you don't know your numbers, you don't know your business. That's the problem growing businesses have because of a hodgepodge of business systems. One for accounting, another for sales, another for inventory. If that's you, you know it's a mess that takes up too much time and too many resources. And that hurts the bottom line. You need NetSuite by Oracle, the cloud-based business management software that gives you the visibility and control you need to grow. With NetSuite, you save time, money, and unneeded headaches by managing sales, finance and accounting, orders, and HR instantly from your desktop or phone. That's why NetSuite is the world's #1 cloud business system. Companies that use NetSuite grow 3 times faster than the S&P 500. And right now, NetSuite is offering you valuable insights with a free guide, 7 key strategies to grow your profits at netsuite.com/Fox. That's netsuite.com/Fox to download your free guide, 7 key strategies to grow your profits. netsuite.com/Fox.
California is calling out Facebook and asking a judge to force the company to hand over documents in a newly revealed investigation.
California Attorney General Javier Becerra would not go into the scope of his investigation into Facebook, but said they've subpoenaed the social media company for more than a year now.
We've requested information relating to communications among executives regarding any consideration of the need to audit developers' access to user data, third-party granted expanded access to user data.
Becerra says Facebook had been slow to respond, and now they're simply not handing over the information asked for. So he's asking a judge in San Francisco to force the company to comply with their requests. Jessica Rosenthal, Fox News.
Not so fast for the Phase 1 trade deal with China announced by President Trump last month. There's a report that a signing ceremony could be delayed until next month over the fine print and the venue. Fox Business Network's Edward Lawrence.
Trade sources are telling me that the U.S. has asked for President Xi Jinping's calendar to try and figure out where a trade signing would fit into his travel schedule. The president would like to see the Chinese president come to Iowa. He's mentioned that. However, Reuters is reporting the senior administration official saying that, no, Iowa might not likely be the spot. They're saying maybe it would happen in Europe, like Switzerland or Sweden.
The White House says negotiations continue and that progress is being made. The original plan was to sign Phase 1 at the APEC summit this month, but Chile canceled that summit over unrest in the country. Renewed concern about the talks seemed to make Wall Street nervous, but the Dow closed down just a fraction. The S&P finished higher. Actress Catherine Deneuve is hospitalized after suffering a stroke. Her family says it was very limited and therefore reversible. Deneuve is 76 and had been filming her latest movie. Lisa Brady, this is Fox News.
This news report is brought to you by NetSuite by Oracle, the cloud-based business management software that gives you the visibility and control you need to grow. NetSuite is offering their free guide, 7 Key Strategies to Grow Your Profits, at netsuite.com/Fox.
Welcome back to WBHM Digital Broadcasting out of Birmingham, Alabama. The time is 5 minutes after the hour. Welcome back to the second hour of Paranormal Experience Radio. I'm so glad you're here because you know what? I have been having the best time. I've been getting to talk with Scott Gruenwald, who is someone I admire an awful lot. And we have been just covering all the bases pretty much. And I have been having fun. Scott, thanks.
I am so pleased. I am. No, I just wanted the specific. I'm on the winners list for this. What is this? Prize Brigade. Oh, cool. I won $10. I'm sorry. I was reading my mail. It's like I won $10.
Awesome.
I never win anything.
Well, can't say that now.
You know what?
You won
Rod
10
Demarest
things.
should read a book about that. Who's written a lot of books is Jeff Belanger. Jeff Belanger.
Yes.
Jeff Belanger. He's written like 100 books.
Really? That many? Really?
I think 150.
Wow.
No, actually, I think he's written like 20, but he looks so young. It's like, I don't know how you did that. But, yeah, Jeff just showed up. So, I mean, Jeff's here, so he's,
Well, I tell you what, he is a pretty interesting guy in his own right.
Okay, Jeff, let other people talk first and then you talk, okay?
No, that don't work like that.
Yeah, it does work like that. Yeah. You're not Scott Gruenwald. You can't just command the room when you walk in.
Well, you're on my side of the bed.
I am halfway on your side of the bed.
You're on my side.
I don't think that badly matters.
It does.
So you want to be on a radio show, huh? You want to be on a radio show?
Yeah, no doubt.
Okay, I got another hour on this show. Kat, you're not ready. You're not ready.
Yeah, I am.
No, I don't think so. I think you need a lot more training before you start lying on the radio show.
Well, I'm sitting here on the couch in the lab, and I think I'm ready.
Okay, Kat, are you okay with this? Let's do it.
I am okay with Jeff Conkle doing whatever he wants to do, as long as you're okay with it.
I am. I want to see him just.
You think he's ready?
Because there's a lot of pressure doing your show. I mean, it's like you just don't get on the Cat show and no, I'm just saying. Let the big people talk.
Oh,
let the big people talk. All right, man. You think you can handle it?
I think so.
All right, Kat.
Let's give him a shot. I love you too. And you know what? You can't do anything about it.
You can't. I love you, and there's nothing you can do about it. Honey.
That's right.
All right. I'm going to give you Jeff Conkle now. Now, Jeff, there's some guidelines I'm going to say. First, talk a lot about me. Make sure that I'm in almost every time, every point.
Okay, I've done that.
Okay. Now, when you talk more than 45 seconds, you start lying. Okay.
I've done that.
No, I know. I've been doing it all night. So what you got to do is, so get ready. I'm gonna throw you to the big cat.
All this stuff that you wrote for me just now. Do I read this line by line?
Yeah, I want you to mention my name at least twice.
Every 5 minutes.
Every 5 minutes. Okay, got it. Goodbye, Cat.
Bye.
Hold on. Hello, Cat. This is, Scott, you got to write this a little bit better, bro. Okay. Nah, I'm not using it. Okay, I'm here.
Hey, Jeff. How are you doing?
Hey, I'm doing good.
You sound like you are. You having a good day?
Yeah, actually, I did have a good day. I did.
Excellent.
So,
you want to be on a
Scott,
radio?
Why are you talking about my XLS camera?
He was telling me how fabulous it is.
Yeah, it was supposed to be kind of a hush-hush thing you'd saying.
Well, not anymore. But at least if you're going to premiere it, this is a good place to bring it out, right?
Well, I know, huh?
Yeah. Well, and I'm going to tell people... I'm going to tell people that y'all are my heroes, right? And I'm going to tell them
Scott's
why.
Got a tear. He's tearing up as he walks away into the sunset.
Well, these people are my heroes because I had an SLS camera that I won, and I won't say who donated it, because they did donate it for a really fantastic cause. But it never functioned for a year. The next year at the event where I won it, I ran into Bill Reap, and we were talking about things, and he was like, "What do you mean it doesn't work?" I said it never worked, and the dude told me that he wasn't going to be supporting that product anymore and referred me to Facebook groups or whatever. So I just wrote it off because I'm not going to slam somebody, but I'm not going to, do their job for them either, and I couldn't figure out how to make it work. So Reaper said, "You need to be talking to Scott. What are you doing?" And I said, "Well, I didn't know he did that. I'll call him later, like when I get home." Yeah. And I already had a message from y'all about my camera. And
Mr. Bill
before I even got home.
We're like doctors. We're like the emergency services.
Well,
the red siren went off above my bench and said somebody's camera was in trouble. So
and it was
Scott
in so much trouble.
On the bat phone and started making calls.
And I am so glad because I sent it out to you and you made it so much better than it originally was. And
I revamped the crap out of that.
You completely revamped the crap out of that and made it look the way it was supposed to and made it work the way it was supposed to. And, it's just, I appreciated y'all so much. You did good work, and you did kind work.
I still got the original piece of what it was hanging off of, sitting and hanging from my bench as a reminder of, wow.
Yes. What not to send to someone, right?
And when it gets warm in the garage, it still leaks some black substance out of it that gets on my bench. I don't know what it is.
It's that electric tape. I saw the electric tape that was holding it together.
Yeah. Yeah, it might have been. We don't know.
Yeah.
But I don't touch it much.
I wouldn't touch it at all. I would not. And, it's really something else because you have a lot of products that you have put together as a team. And I'm so impressed with your work.
When I started building first, I started building, for me. Before I met Scott. And it was just me. And when I go on investigations, I couldn't be in 2 or 3 rooms at the same time. So I started building these ground drones, and I started shooting them down hallways and putting them in rooms and letting them do their things and getting all these recordings and videos. And people asking me, "Man, how many people you got with?" I said, "It's just me and 3 drones."
I love that.
And then when I met Scott, and, he had his little incident. And then I didn't get to see him for a while because he was in recovery.
Yeah.
And when we got out, we started talking a lot more. And came over, and I said, "You know what? Let me bring something over for you. Let you check it out." So I started bringing all my stuff over that I built. And he flipped. He's like, "Oh, my God." He goes, "This is you and how many other people?" And I go, "There's the other people. You see them on the ground. They're rolling around right now."
Yeah.
And so, he flipped out, and then it just went from there.
Well, you've
came over
really
one weekend and
amazing things. Truly amazing things.
I just keep building. Things pop into my head, and I just continue to do it. There's projects on the table right now that Scott is just like his eyes almost flew out of his head on a couple of them. You know what I mean? It's just things that I can't talk about right now, but it's things that's going to turn the paranormal community pretty much going, what the hell?
Right.
Well,
I'll tell you that the structure of your SLS cameras already have people doing that. So I cannot wait.
They're very sturdy.
They're very sturdy, and they're easy to maneuver with. Like, you don't have to work out just to carry them around, and you can hold other things too. So
your wrist doesn't hurt at the end of the evening. Let's put it that way.
Like you're holding a motorcycle handlebar the wrong way. with all that weight on it. That was awkward.
You don't need that.
No.
I mean, you can have it on there. You can go purchase a handle on Amazon and attach it to the bottom and walk around like that if you'd like to. It's still a lot lighter than any of the other ones I've seen out there.
Yes.
So.
And, you know, I am very appreciative because I just could not believe
We're
that.
here to help. And when we get one of our fellow people that, you know, get something that doesn't work and, you know, wants it to work, and you've had it in a closet for what, about a year?
It was a year.
You were so you were so upset with it, you just left it in there. So I mean, it was the fact that, you know, there's, you know, when there's people out there, I mean, we're all paranormal investigators. We all want to find out what is out there. You know, we all should be helping each other, and that's what me and Scott do. I mean, if you have the parts, and you want to build it, we will help you build it. You know, we'll talk to you on the phone. We'll do a live messenger feed with you. We don't care. You know, it's the fact that, you know, and if somebody wants one built by me, I will build you one. You know, I'll build it. You know, each one of mine is different. They're not all the same. I mean, color-wise, yeah, they're different. But each one of them has a little special thing of me in it. So,
yeah,
you know.
I love that. Because, you know, this is not supposed to be, it is for a lot of people. Okay, so I'm going to qualify this statement. But it's not supposed to be a competition. Everybody that is in this field gives lip service, at least, to the fact that we are all trying to achieve the same goals.
Exactly.
And so we're all supposed to be on the same team. But you,
see, that's why Scott, you know, he posted that live video a couple of days ago, like creating drama type stuff. What drama? I don't get into drama. I don't create drama. If there's any drama on my feed, I just don't go on Facebook for about a week at 2 weeks, maybe a month. I have no need for Facebook.
Right.
I don't. I have so much on my plate on this bench over here. I got plenty of things to keep me busy.
Yes,
plenty.
You do.
You know, and you know, people call all the time. People text me all the time. Hey, can you make this? Can you make that? Can you help me with this? Yeah, I can. That's not a problem. You just tell me what you want. What are you looking for? Are you looking for something that's, you know, lightweight? You know, whatever it is, I can help you make it.
Absolutely. You have. I mean, you make stuff.
Yeah.
You make things the average person just really doesn't comprehend how to make it more maneuverable, and you just find that.
Yeah. Well, it all.
Yeah, like
depends,
with your drones.
You know. Yeah. Well, see, I can build it around the person. It doesn't bother me one bit. I can have it hanging off your chest. It doesn't bother me one bit. You know, I've got a camera system that it's a 360 degree. It goes from front to back all the way around me. Hangs off of a vest.
That is so cool.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, you know, what I can't catch in my peripheral vision, my cameras will catch it. You know, it's just stuff like that every once in a while I'll pull them out. And these are things I built years ago. You know, it's just things that worked for me when I was by myself.
Right.
You know, the footage that I've caught, I mean, ghosts, just like Scott would say, ghosts are rare. But when you do catch that one, you're like, holy shit, let's tear this apart and find out how this happened.
Exactly.
You know, and when you catch things like that, or just like you said, when you get the old school bell ringing, you know, or something like that, these are things that, you know, makes me want. I'm not much into the beepy, you know, sound things and making things go off in real high pitches just to, you know, get somebody's attention.
Yes.
Mine work with the person. Okay. I have meters. I've given away a couple of meters actually that I've built that works with the person. You set that meter on a table, it won't go off.
How does it work with the person? How do you make it do that? Is that proprietary?
The person. No, it has a grounding system in it that works with the person's body.
That's amazing.
So,
oh my gosh, we have to go to break. Have that thought because I want to talk about that some more. But we will be right back with Jeff Conkle.
You are listening to WBHM Digital Broadcasting, the best in paranormal talk, only on Paranormal Experience Radio, broadcasting live out of Birmingham, Alabama.
Several U.S. presidents are on record talking about the UFO mystery.
Yeah, Presidents Jimmy Carter, Ronald Reagan both had UFO sightings of their own, but the current presidential campaign might be the first in which UFO disclosure has been championed by a major party candidate.
DIA, CIA, it moves around, is operating a program to train psychic spies to spy and use their powers against Russia. John Ronson writes about this in The Men Who Stare at Goats.
The first known sighting of a ghost took place right after Abraham Lincoln was assassinated in the late 1860s during the administration of Ulysses Grant.
Project Paperclip, Clinton releases it all in 1998.
Possibly the unequal cooling of its surface.
I say, do you still think it's a meteor, Professor?
I don't know what to think. The metal casing is definitely extraterrestrial.
It's a place where UFO hunters and scientists gather to examine paranormal activity in the region.
Some of the documents, this is bringing Nazi scientists into the United States to work here. So we fought against the Nazis, and it's not, this again is not a revelation. As early as 1947, 1946, we knew some of this, right?
On the paranormal, will we see U.S. President Barack Obama's foreign policy go intergalactic in a quest for gold stolen by aliens? We'll tell you at least how the White House responded to claims the chief executive has been teleporting to Mars. But let's get to today's Capitol account.
UFOs, hauntings, psychic abilities, conspiracy, ESP, cryptozoology. There are many things that remain unexplained in the inexplicable world around us, and we're talking about them here, looking for answers on WBHM Digital Broadcasting, Birmingham, Alabama. The truth is out there. You are listening to WBHM Digital Broadcasting, Birmingham, Alabama.
Welcome back to Paranormal Experience. This is Kat Hobson, and I am having the best time. And this is Jeff Conkle, absolutely. And I am, yes, if y'all are confused, it's fine, because you know what? I have never done anything with Scott Gruenwald that was boring. And as a result of his schedule, here we are, Jeff. You are doing a radio show. How fun is that?
And I have an empty wheelchair where Scott used to sit.
Yes, you do.
Yep.
And doesn't need to anymore.
Mm-mm. No, we still roll around him in the garage.
Well, that's fun, though. It's not because you're having to.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. You got to run something to the other side of the bench. You don't want to hand it through the hole. You just drive around.
Yeah. God, I had to spend... This time last year, I was in one. So, it was just like really an interesting experience. You what?
I was in the wheelchair for 2 years.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. When I was 21 years old, I fell off of the side of a building and broke my back.
Oh, my goodness.
Couldn't feel my leg. Yeah.
I'm glad that didn't last.
Yeah, so am I. They told me
No
I'd be in a
doubt.
wheelchair for the rest of my life.
Just goes to show that, they don't always know what they're talking about.
Nope, they sure don't.
Thank goodness,
Which was
right?
good for me.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think that science has come so far, medicine has come so far, and they still have no idea how things work sometimes.
No, nobody really knows how anything works. Works
No.
like that in the paranormal field, too.
It is.
We're always searching. We're always searching, trying to find it,
And it's so elusive.
Yep.
Whatever it turns out to be, it really is just so elusive. And I just want answers sometimes.
Yeah, I know. Everybody does. There's
You would
people
think
out
that
there
people would work better together as because we're supposed to be a community. And people are so cautious about it.
Sometimes people don't. Sometimes people don't. But, to each his own.
Yeah.
I have nothing against anybody. I never have, never will.
Well,
I love
there's no
everybody
reason
who
to.
does this. I love everybody who does this.
You should.
It's yeah, you should. I mean, it's like, wow, you actually caught this, or everybody sits there together and just discusses what happened, and it's the fact that the discussion sometimes is what brings things up to me. You know what? When people talk about their experiences and what has happened to them, or for me, when I hear these things from different people, it gives me ideas, and it helps me move forward on certain things I want to build to help in that area. Like the sense of a touch, or the sound, or a frequency, or any type of noise. What was it heard? Like on a EVP recorder. What frequency was that being picked up on? What megahertz? Things like that. It
That's
just
important,
keeps popping through my head.
But people don't always know. Unless they're running it through a spectrograph as they're, recording.
Yeah, but see, actually, working with any type of recording equipment, the frequency and the voice modulation, it's going to be different. Every one of them. You could stick 15 of the same EVP recorder in a line, and I'll guarantee you that the megahertz that I pick them up on, every one of them is off by 0.2 or 0.3.
Really?
And there may be two that hit the same one, but that's rare. I can get it in that same band of frequency on an EVP. It doesn't matter if it's a class A to one that you can't even understand what it says. I've gotten a couple of them that have been pretty close to one frequency, one band, and it's really that's a work in progress though.
Yeah. That's interesting though, because
it is.
I think that matters. I don't know because are they communicating on a frequency that they need to hear us on? Is something that I've wondered sometimes, because I live really near Sloss Furnace.
That's something I've been working with. So
yeah, what are you finding?
It's a give and take on it right now. It's just something that's in the works. I've got a big piece of equipment that you basically almost have to have a forklift to lug it around to do what I need to do.
Yeah.
So I mean, just to knock it down to the size I need it'd take some time.
Well, sure. I love that you're thinking along those lines, though.
Well, I always have. I build other things, and to help other people. There's people that, with some of the things that I build for myself. Scott and the boys. We build, we test, we run it through, and we're like, for weeks and months at a time, we're questioning it. We're checking the numbers. We're checking the zeros. It's just all about data. It's data for us. If I hear an EVP, it's not a voice to me. It's basically numbers. And if I can catch any type of number in that same frequency when I modulate, it is what it is. It's the fact in just it's you got to pick it apart, piece by piece. What was it, last year? I had a sudden burst of I popped out on Facebook and I said, everybody and anybody, if you have any EVP, send them my way. I'm testing a theory. It's a theory, okay? And you know what? Bill Reap came forward and he sent me a shitload. I'm sorry, shit. I didn't mean to say that. A crap load. It was on and on. You know, people started sending them, and then I just started, working with that. You know, it's still an ongoing process. You know, I'm into it 3 years now, and I still am going through each and every one of it. You know, it's just piece by piece.
What are you seeking to isolate with that?
What I do is I'll take the EVP and I'll stretch it out on a bandwidth, and I'll continue to keep stretching it to the point, where it's only piece by piece. And then Scott comes in and starts sticking it on the computer, and then it's just a fact and running it down. It's all about numbers to him, and when it comes across, it's just a long drawn out process. So I leave him with that on this side of the bench. I'll build over here, and I'll leave him to his giant computer screen over there to play with other things.
Yeah. Well,
every once in a while, I'll say, "Hey, Scott, somebody sent a Class A. Here, check this out." 3 weeks later, are you sure? How far have you got? Oh, 2 lines.
Well, I'm just so interested in what you're developing and how you came to be good at that.
Well,
do you have a music background or a technological background? Music?
Oh, I got a little bit of everything in me.
Yeah. Well, I found that people who have a music background are really great at the
well, I'm not much into learning the notes.
Well,
I hear the tones.
Yes.
To me, it's the tone. I can pick up and I can play it. If I listen for 5 minutes, I can play the song.
Right.
To me, it's all about the tone. It's all about, the sound. It runs totally different for me, the way it runs through my head. So
that would be.
I think I'm crazy.
Well, that's okay, but it's a good way.
Yeah.
I perceive things in an odd fashion compared to most people too, so I can relate to that. It's all about perception.
The things I build around. I build. Okay. What I do is, I know you're back because you're standing there looking at me with these big ass eyes. So, the things that I build, Kat, I build around what I'm working with. Like, yeah, it is. It's a call-in number. Is there a call-in number, Kat? We have a special guest that would like to call in and, ask a few questions.
Well, there is. Let me find it because I was completely not looking at that. So.
Oh, wow. So we do have a call-in number. Caller, are you there?
I have to go find it.
Yes, hello. I'd like to speak with Mr. Scott Gruenwald, please.
Yes. Ah, there we go. Now I can get you the call-in number.
Oh, God, he's going to call it, too.
He is,
Oh, you're not calling?
You're on his phone.
No, he's got 2.
That's true. I have his other number. Hang on. I'll just call him and add him.
Someone's going to call you.
Ask him if it's the other number that I called before.
Yeah.
All right.
It is.
Well, I have not had amazing success with this, but we're going to give it a try.
Yay.
Because why not? But please
even though
continue
he's
to
like
talk.
right across the way.
Yeah, I know.
He can act like, you know what, I can bring him over here and he can act like he's calling in.
Y'all are too funny. Does he really want to be on?
Caller. Just call him.
Does he want to
Call
really
him.
be on?
Call him.
I'm calling him. Maybe. It says it's calling him.
There it is. Yeah, it's ringing.
Hi, the person you're calling is using a screening service.
Now I have to say my
We'll get a
name.
copy
He's
of this
screening me.
conversation.
He's
Go
screening
ahead
me.
and say your name and why you're calling.
Cat Hobson, because
Thanks.
you wanted me to.
Connecting you now.
Hello. Hi. Hi.
Yo,
Long time listener, first time caller.
Well, we're glad to have
Well, hello,
you.
first time caller.
We are pleased
I have
that
a
you're here,
question for
first time
Jeff
caller.
Conkle.
Well, you
I'm from
asked Jeff
Columbus,
a
Ohio.
cool question.
I have a question for Jeff Conkle because I know he's like really smart.
He is really smart.
So how can somebody that never graduated sixth grade be so smart? That's what I want to know.
I don't know. I never graduated sixth grade.
I'm serious.
I bypassed sixth grade, bro.
Okay, Jeff, got a question for you. XLS camera. This is the new camera that they can view on their phone, and it's reasonably about $200, right?
Okay, yeah, yeah, sure.
So how can we get these? Where do we call Scott Gruenwald? Because obviously, he's your leader.
Yes. At the end of the
Take
show,
me to
I
your
will be
leader.
giving out his number.
Okay. Yeah.
At the end of the show, I will be giving out Scott Gruenwald's personal phone number so that you may call him and ask him some questions about getting one made.
Startling.
Well, I would like
Yeah, it
to
is
get one made. Just putting it out there. So,
Yeah, I want one too.
Well, the first time caller is interested in having one.
Okay.
So how long do we have to wait? We have it out by Christmas?
It would be probably around New Year's.
Well, that's
That's the dumbest thing. That's 5 days later. Come on, just say the holidays.
Well,
Just
I
the
know
holidays.
I have to give time for.
I mean, you should probably do this, Jeff.
An
I
option.
could do what?
Say
Bring Cat in.
holidays.
It's a big holiday favorite. It's called the XLS, and it's like the SLS, but it's got an X in front of it because there's extra stuff
kind of
on
like
it.
Xmas?
Well, no,
Like
it's like.
But what
God,
is
you
the
have
difference
dumbest
between
laugh.
an SLS and the SLS?
Okay, so the SLS is skeletal viewer. That's what everybody knows. Everything. The XLS, I'm just because I've read a lot of Jeff Conkle stuff. Hopefully, I can meet him someday. But I really don't care. But there's extra stuff. So when we give you an XLS camera, it's not just the SLS camera. It's got extra stuff. So it's either got temperature or something else in there. So it's cool. It comes with stuff. And the cool thing about it is if you join the Conkle news feed, you get the monthly newsletter. But I can't say every month, but every 3 months or something, you get something added to your SLS. All you got to do is get it on your home network, turn it on. We dial in and drop something new in there. So every time we're talking $225 because for shipping it was $200, but every month, every couple months, we've developed something. You don't have to pay for it anymore. You're in. Okay. So just by joining the Conkle newsletter, you get this stuff. And so we'll download apps and give you stuff and maybe just try stuff out for us. Cause God knows we investigate a couple of places, but to send our stuff out there and let's see what happens or send Jeff's stuff out there. I'm a caller. I don't know Jeff. I mean, it's kind of amazing. Okay. I gotta go back.
Too fun. Oh my goodness.
Jesus.
Well, that first time caller certainly had a nice radio voice.
Well, yes, you did.
So that is too funny. And
last time listener, first time caller.
I tell you what, this is never boring. But
No,
I am
it's not.
curious because when you your SLS camera is brilliant. So with your XLS camera, is it still the skeletal viewer?
Better.
Really?
I'm just going to put it out there. It's going to be better.
Well, we're going to have to talk. And just for everyone's, like, FYI stuff, Jeff is going to be on for a full show, not next week, but the following one, where we'll be discussing a lot more of all the things that he's making. But I am just fascinated by this stuff because I would love to be able to create something like that. Maybe I'll have to go to school.
It's the fact that if you have the right parts, Kat, it's not hard to make it. The programming's a little tough, but sometimes it doesn't set right with certain window-based softwares. But if you get the right stuff, it's not hard. It's not.
Does it work with iOS software?
That's why I enjoy building and helping people. I do. I'm not out for the money or the glory of building. It's like, I go out there and, if somebody goes live, on a Facebook feed and they tag me or something in it and I see my equipment being used. It's fucking, oops, sorry. Excuse my French. I'm trying to hold that back, but it's amazing to see. Okay, but it's amazing to see my stuff being used. It is because for years it's just been used around haunted locations here for testing, and I've given away quite a bit of my stuff. To people that I know that's all they do is go hunting.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all they do. And some people are out there who are on a budget, and want to find things too, and want to, get that evidence, get that proof that there's things that actually exist out there that we can't comprehend, and I like sending things, every once in a while I'll get a wild hair, or Scott will, and we're like, well, this person's on a budget. Oh, that's fine with me. Send them one. Things like that. It's rare that it happens, but if I have one extra one floating around every once in a while, I do send them out. It's just something I like to do.
Well, it's a kind thing to do because I know a lot of people who investigate who can't afford any kind of equipment.
No, they're using low end. Like for me, I see all these new, EVP recorders out there and everything. I still use a tape. Yeah. I'll use a tape. I love the magnetic tape. It picks up a lot more than you can in electronic. It's very interesting because, just, feeding it into a computer, they listen to it is amazing. The quality is a little staticky, but to me, that's what I want.
How do you feed that into
I'm not
computer?
Oh, you gotta use an auxiliary cord and you plug it into Adobe Audition and let it run through.
That's too easy.
We've done that for years.
I have never tried using. Do you use reel-to-reel or do you use like a cassette?
I use a cassette.
Too cool.
And we have a reel-to-reel that we're in the process of using. We got newer equipment attached to the back of it, to boost the gain on it a little bit. But you'll still hear the same thing as you would hear a reel-to-reel back in the 60s.
Too cool. Hang on, I've got to run a station ID right quick, just to be official.
You are listening to WBHM Digital Broadcasting, Birmingham, Alabama.
Thank you for listening to WBHM Digital Broadcasting out of Birmingham, Alabama. The time is 23 minutes after the hour. And we are back with Jeff Kunkel, and his first-time caller has hung up, so we were talking about why he does what he does and why he helps people, which he does. And
yeah, I do.
You know, I just think that is totally one of my favorite things about you and about Scott. But I knew that about Scott. I just met you when we were going through the SLS situation, and you just knocked my socks off. And I was very appreciative, if not, completely surprised that somebody would be so nice and generous and just help me.
See, you know what makes me happy though is like it was about a month ago. Pamela Berry from Gettysburg.
Mm-hmm. Love her.
She lives in Gettysburg. Yeah, she's an amazing person. Scott's best friend. Had it all set up. I built her an SLS.
Yes, you did. That was gorgeous.
It's called the Blue and the Gray.
Yep.
And it was amazing. It fills me up inside to see somebody who opens that box up and pulls it out, plugs it in, starts it up, and to see the smiles on people's faces when things like that happen is just, it's enough for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's enough.
I do know.
I've got stuff sitting on my workbench that me and Scott and the boys haven't used in years, like EMF clocks, EMF trees, stuff like that. I build things that I think will, think of them as a housewarming gift. You know what I mean? If you go into a haunted location, for me, that if I take like a plant, or like if you're going to somebody's house and you're bringing a housewarming gift, that's the first thing I'll say. You bring it in, say, I'm bringing a housewarming gift, and I'll set it on above a mantle, or the clock above a mantle, and just let it go. See what happens.
Right.
It's more, I would think it's more calming to the spirit or whatever is in that place to see something that they're used to seeing. A clock has been around for centuries. It's something everybody knows. A tree has been around for millions of years. You know what I mean? But
yes.
it's the fact that it's something that it doesn't matter how old the place is or what has happened in that place. Like a clock to me is something that's comforting. It's something that everybody sees, everybody knows. And it's worked a few times for me, quite a few times actually. I love my EMF clock. Huh? Last time caller, first time listener. No, it does not work as a clock. I'm not trying to sell anything. It's just it doesn't work. Wow, the clock. Okay, to be straight up for
the EMF
clock
works.
It stays on 3 a.m. or 3 p.m., whatever you want to call it, all the time. Actually, it says 3 a.m. because the moon is up in it, so it stays on that time. So.
And the EMF function, is it loud? Does it make noise, or is it a visual?
No, it does not. It's all visual.
That's excellent.
I don't like the loud noises.
Well, I don't either, because I think that especially child spirits, or at a certain age they might be inquisitive, but as children I think that would be scary. And I think that some people, I always try to say, look, these lights didn't hurt me when you saw them by me, so they're not going to hurt you either. So I try to be reassuring to people who are perhaps nervous about technology.
Yeah, you know what? I felt that way for a long time. I used just like any veteran paranormal investigator would use. You grab your bells, you grab your tape recorder, and you go. And just like Scott said, we have a little bag that, that's our main thing. We pop that stuff out, and people are looking like, this is old crap. So why are you guys using this? Because it works.
Because it does work.
Okay? Every once in a while, you leave the gadgets at home. You bring the basics. Okay? You just run it down. You don't need to come in with 50 pounds of electronic gear. Every once in a while, we'll get lazy. We'll just bring the man purse of scotch, and that's it.
Yep. It's not a bad thing.
Mm-hmm.
I've
got so much stuff laying around here. Jeez.
I imagine. Well, I have seen pictures of the garage. I do know you have a lot of stuff laying around there. There's so much.
I've got camera systems that I haven't finished, and I'm working on a touch sensor that works as a toy for a kid, and it talks at the same time you touch it. Certain areas you touch it, and it'll tell you things, and it's kind of like that bear thing that you've seen out there, but this is a little bit different.
Yeah, I have a set of Raggedy Ann and Raggedy Andy that I had thought about doing something like that with. A friend of mine has a Raggedy Ann that has EMF capabilities, but I thought,
you know what? Yeah, do it.
Well,
just the EMF comes with 5 lights, sometimes 6 on them. If you buy an EMF detector, you know what you can do, Kat? It's very easy. Here you go. All you got to do is tear it apart. And then what you do is you extend the lights out on it. Okay?
Yeah.
Add some wires to it. Extend them out. Put them on the fingertips. Put one on top of the head. Put one on the chest. Put a couple on the feet. And let the EMF do its job.
That would be cool. Because I have EMF on video at the same time that I'm getting an EVP coming from that doll that my friend has when we were in Savannah. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah, that is.
I like when I have evidence that matches like that.
Yeah, you do. Just like when we were doing Chico's down here. Mm-hmm. Zeus is amazing on his video and everything, and 5, 6 different cameras in different locations, and to have them all go off, and to have him set it up and to show it and how it goes in sequence to what's happening at the other end of the building is totally amazing. He is an amazing guy.
Wow, that is amazing.
A lot of good stuff for us. Yeah.
Well, I just had someone in our chat room say, whoa, look at the time. So what exciting things are coming up for the dynamic duo of tech developer and first-time caller?
First-time caller is first-time caller. We're just going to keep him at that. No, there's a few things coming up. There is. Got a few projects that are going to be out on the bench, and I'll, as soon as I get them done and tested, then Scott will show them, and then we'll go from there.
Too cool.
It's just, I don't like to show them off before they're completed, There's some things I do show off because I know they'll work, but these things right here, it's going to take a little bit of time to get moving. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do. I appreciate that you do take your time to get it right.
Everybody's going to want. I think everybody's going to want it. You know what I mean?
Is it going to be available for Christmas presents? Maybe Valentine's?
If I can get the build done in time. If I can get the build done in time and the testing on it, oh, God, it's going to be... It's been something that's been in my head for a long time. And I think it's just going to blow your socks off.
Well, I can't wait.
I know,
I'm excited by that. So I will be watching your page, and I will be talking to you in 2 weeks to get full information that's available on that. And, I think you did pretty great. I'm glad that you wanted to be on the radio.
So, yeah, you need to tell that last time caller, first time listener guy that,
You did a
whatever.
good job. Like, whatevs. I can do the hand with that. So, I'm Southern. I've got this.
Huh? Just send it to his messenger with one hand up. What's up?
Yeah. Dude, really? So, well, I have enjoyed this conversation. I think that it was rocking.
Thank
I appreciate you.
That was only a partial of what's in my brain.
I don't doubt that. And I don't think
sometimes I get on massive overload. Scott has to come over and hug me. It's terrible. Yeah.
Well, people fight for those Gruenwald hugs. Seriously. Yeah,
I
it
don't
is
see
what it
why.
is. Right? Well, I'm going to tell
it's
you.
like being in the bosom of a hurricane, he said.
That's true. Well, I'm going to tell you a secret. I was on my way to do an investigation in Ohio, and I left early to crash at the hotel where the Mid-South Convention was when Scott was out there, because I've been talking to him for 4 years or better and had never met him.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I almost got to meet him in New Orleans, and I got sick. So, yeah, so I didn't get to go to New Orleans. But I am so glad that he's my friend. I'm glad that you are now, too. Because
I am, too, and I'm glad you have a piece of my equipment.
I am, too.
I said that wrong. I'm glad you have my SLS.
There you go.
Yes. Hey, do you remember the gooey bar thing?
No, we need to get a team viewer. Does she have it?
Yeah, there's team viewer on there. That was a special SLS.
Well, we need to give her some of our free shit.
Okay.
Yeah.
He even said it. Did you beep that out?
I will beep that out.
Okay, yeah, beep that out.
Actually, it's
please.
primarily the F-bomb that's like, I have this whole little, button that does that.
I only said one through the whole show, and I'm very sorry about that. Usually
well, and it didn't even get, it wasn't fully enunciated.
Yes, it was an accident.
It wasn't enunciated.
It came out.
You didn't finish it.
Yeah, it wasn't enunciated because I stopped and I went, F you, that type thing, and then I stopped and went, well, I'm trying, but when people start talking about my stuff, I get all excited and
That's true.
get all jumpy and things start happening. So.
That's true. Well, you know what? Our time is about done because I have to let people know that we are back. We have been off the air for a week because I was on my annual jaunt. So I missed two
Were
of
you
my...
on your yacht?
I wish. No. I was in Key West with a bunch of women. I did a live show from the cemetery that we were getting some activity and stuff, but it was having so much dead air that I just went ahead after about an hour, 30 minutes.
For
I cut the show.
For some reason, I heard cemetery and dead air. That was, there might be something in there.
There might, right? So, and the person that is chatting me up over in the WBHM-DB chat room is someone who knows that that's where I was injured last year. And she was like, she made it back safe and uninjured. Yay. So that was funny. Yay. So I was watching every step I took where I put my foot. But just so, and y'all might want to know this too, starting on, this is Paranormal Experience, Friday will be Paraversal Universe and a brand new Ghost Talk Radio. Sunday will be me hosting Fate Mag Radio, Voice of Fate Magazine, with my guest Calvin Parker, who you may know as the 1973 Pascagoula abductee. He and Charlie Hickson were abducted, and it was really kind of an interesting thing. It's a freaky thing. I would not want to experience that. And then Monday,
I just want to jump in the ship.
I know, right? They did not care for that. So I would like to fly the ship. I would like to fly it.
I know, so would I.
But they didn't get that opportunity. Then Monday will be the Paranormal Pride with Denise Pridemore, who we hope is going to be well and with us. Then on Wednesday, I'll be back. So we will be... Yay! And I appreciate you being here, Jeff, and your first-time caller, last-time listener. Better not be his last time listening.
Yeah,
but
right?
Scott Gruenwald.
Lifetime listener.
There you go. I love you, Scott Gruenwald. And you can't do anything about it. I do love you. I think you're amazing. I'm so glad that you are healthy and just yourself. Totally yourself. You'll never change. And Jeff, I have had a great time talking with you. I know, right? Who wants him to change? I love him like he is. So, and just, I'm going to put it out there. Roll Tide. Mr.
Roll Tide.
Just for you. So, I appreciate you, and I'm so glad you were here. Both of you.
Thank you for having me on.
You were awesome. I was excited to have you on. I was glad that you wanted to do that as long as Scott was cool with that. So, good stuff.
Oh, he was.
So,
because there's not a dang thing you can do about it.
That's true. That's true. You were coming. So, that's it. We are done. Thank y'all so much, listeners and chatters, for being here with us. You never know what's going to happen. I love it. I love my job. So, thanks again, and we will catch you next time.
Warning, the following message does not necessarily reflect the views of WBHM-DB or its hosts, guests, listeners, or of any functioning adult in general. In fact, Frank should probably seek professional help. Listener discretion is advised.
Hi there, Frank Lee here. I thought that I would spend a few moments telling you about the positivity from the network here. The overall message of para-unity and happiness, and how everyone here wants to get along with everyone out there, and how everything is just wonderful. Wait, Cat's not looking. Okay, I've got something to really tell you. Okay, so I'm going to tell you what's really going on. Honestly, all that being nice and positive crap was kind of hurting my soul, as dark as it is. So, what's really happening? You see it all the time. Everybody and their brother out there has a paranormal team because they watched a couple of episodes of Ghost Hunters or some crap like that. So they go and they spend half their mortgage payment on tools and things that light up that they don't understand. And then the next logical step, after buying matching black t-shirts and posing like 90s rappers for their Facebook page, is to, of course, have their own podcast. Well, you know what? You're not going to find that crap here. What we have here at WBHM Digital Broadcasting is the best host, the best guest, bringing you real information. All of the hosts here on this network know their stuff. They are the people who have been out there doing the work, doing actual research. And no, by research, I don't mean binge watching some kind of cheesy TV show on Netflix. I mean reading books. I mean out in the field doing the legwork. And who are they interviewing on their shows? They're bringing you the people they have learned from. They're bringing you the best in the field. covering all kinds of topics from UFOs and aliens to Bigfoot to cryptozoology to ghosts to anything you can think of, a bit strange and unexplained. It is here, and you're going to get the best information here. So stay tuned to WBHM Digital Broadcasting. Don't go anywhere. Speaking of going somewhere, I've got to go before my mic gets cut. We'll see you there on WBHM-DB.